Good day, everyone across North America. This is John Garmendi with Sony's Professional Display Solutions of America, welcoming you to our first Tech Tuesday of 2024. Welcome and Happy New Year. As you all know, we started these Tech Tuesdays several years ago so that all of our end users, our resellers, our integrators, and consultants can stay informed and up to date on the latest products and solutions from Sony's professional display division. Today's Tech Tuesday will focus on our Edge AI device. We entitled this one New AI Intelligence for Impactful Video Presentations. As a reminder, all of the links that we referenced today will be posted in the chat, as well as a link to all of our previously recorded Tech Tuesday presentations. In addition, as a reminder, you can submit questions via the in-event question panel, and I encourage you to do so. So today, I'm going to be joined by my colleagues, Ken Kobayashi and Karim Springer. Ken is our commercialization manager for our cameras, as well as the Edge AI device. And Karim is our senior sales support engineer for the Northeastern Territory. So rather than spend a lot of time describing what the Edge AI device is, and essentially my elevator pitch is, this is a very powerful graphics engine with intelligence built in. And it's a platform that allows you to have several different features and functions based upon the types of licenses you acquire and load onto the device. Today's webinar, we're going to focus a bit on some of the new features and functionality that we'll be adding to Edge AI as a result of a firmware upgrade. But rather than have me talk to you about it, we're going to run a short video here to give you a high-level overview. And then when we come back, Ken Kobayashi will take you through the remainder of the presentation, and then I'll join you back here along with Karim for Q&A.
Hello, everyone. This is Ken Kobayashi. I'm business manager at Sony Professional Display Solutions. Let me touch upon a high-level overview of HAI video presenter. With a PDZ camera, which has HDMI output and RESC 1000 HAI video devices, can generate attractive images through HDMI or IP streaming to display, recorder, and live streaming. This small Edge AI box has different features, and with optional license, these features will be activated. There are various applications that we can utilize this magical box. To utilize this Edge AI video presentation, we can distribute the speaker's passion, thoughts, fully to the audience. Let me explain the solutions of Edge AI video presenter one by one. As introduced, Edge AI video presenter has 5 different features in one box: handwriting instruction, PDZO tracking, close-up by gesture, a chroma keyless CG overlay, focus area cropping. All optional features are pre-installed to use during a 60-day free trial. Today, we want to focus on PDZ auto framing feature newly added to this device with firmware upgrade version 5.0. Let me explain from handwriting extraction. This is the feature. We can extract characters and diagrams written by a speaker on the board. And this is ideal for lecture capture, e-learning, MOOCs, live viewing via seating monitors. This Edge AI supports both whiteboard and blackboard, and extracted image are even more clearer than the original images. This Edge AI box supports various professional cameras, but the quality, the Sony camera has the best quality for this function. So we highly recommend to use Sony cameras for handwriting extraction. The other features are we can adjust the transparency ratio. If we set 0% transparency of extracted images, the speaker can hide behind the images completely. And also, during the presentation, we can store the extracted image as snapshot. This is the system example of handwriting extraction for large size classroom. We can use our SRG X400 PDZ camera and REAC 1000 plus REA L100 license. With HDMI splitter, we can distribute extracted image to sub-display in the classroom and also to the lecture capture system. The next one is PDZO tracking. With this function, the feature that dramatically simplifies PDZ camera operation in locations such as classroom, conference rooms, and stage environments by enabling compatible Sony SRG BLC PDZ cameras to automatically keep track of speaker while shooting. The Edge AI has two different modes, full body mode and upper body mode, and supported cameras are as it is. This license has another feature that multiple features work at the same time on one unit. Only PDCO tracking and handwriting extraction we can learn simultaneously on one unit. This is the system example of PDCO tracking for auditorium with PDC camera SRG X400 and REAC 1000 plus L200 PDCO tracking license. The camera can track the presenter consistently, and the tracked image will be distributed through HDMI splitter to the projectors in the auditorium and also to the recording system. Third one is close-up by gesture. This is a kind of e-zoom function. The video is able to recognize when someone stand up from a seated position and automatically zoom in on the corresponding locations. You can display both a wide angle view and electronically zoomed view in real time. This is a system example of close-up by gesture for classroom. We can use 4K camera, a BLC X1000, and with REC 1000 plus 300 L300 close-up by gesture license. From one stream from PDZ camera, the box generates two different the stream, the close-up video and whole view video. And with compact switcher after the REAC 1000, we can distribute to live streaming, the close-up view or a whole view. The fourth one is chroma key CZ overlay. I think this feature is well known about our Edge AI video presenter. This box can provide the simple approach of a chroma key solution based on our motion detection technology, generating enough quality of overlay content in real time without the dedicated studio and skilled staff. This is ideal for online lesson MOOCs, CEO message video, interview, webinar type applications. But please be noted, this is not for cinema and high budget broadcasting. This is a really simple solution, but not too high quality, CZ overlay. Let me explain how overlay works. If the presenter speak in a room without any dedicated green back or screen, the edge box can add overlay the four different the CZs on the presenters. So with this license, that we can distribute the above right above images like the speaker and graphics and the dedicated, the wonderful studio set. The other feature is that we can distribute two output distribute two ways. First one is for program out for recording. The second one is for prompter for actors. We can also flip the image for better understanding. And also we can add mask area to the screen for disturbance suppression. For example, window, monitors, and fan, which is moving object. This is the example how to create the one-person presentation. Just sitting and talking in the room, we can overlay the nice studio set with background presentations. Also, with using different the graphics, we can perform more than one-person presentation. This is the system example of chroma key CZ overlay for small studios. We can use fixed 4K camera like SRG XP1 and REAC 1000 plus L400 license. Just shooting in your space, we can overlay the graphics on the speaker, then distribute the overlaid image to the different, the distance for different locations, like live streaming. And also, we can split HDMI output to a recording system. The last one is focus area cropping. This is also another feature of the e-zooming function. With 4K cameras, we can crop HD, full HD, crop the image out of whole 4K video. There are two ways to distribute the extracted images, like an e-tracking mode with a single camera can capture high quality images of a whole scene while intelligently following and outputting close-up views of moving speaker using Sony video analytics technology. The second one is like a switcher output. A single camera can capture high quality images of a whole scene while simultaneously outputting close-up views according to a preset region and manual operation via a web browser. This is the system example of focused area cropping, fixed area cropping for event space. We can use a 4K camera like PDZ camera BSX 1000 or a fixed handy camera like PXW Z150 with REC 1000 plus L500 focus area cropping license. We can distribute the whole view or crop the area to the different locations. Before moving on to the newly added version 5 newly added functions, please enjoy watching the feature video for Edge AI Video Analytics version 5.0. Thank you for watching. Let me talk about the detail of PD's auto framing function, which is newly added from version 5.0 firmware upgrade. What is the difference of Sony PD's auto framing from other tracking? PD's auto tracking was actually pan tracking. So camera can track the person, the presenter, from left to right. But PD's auto framing combines pan, tilt, and zoom simultaneously. We already have a built-in type PD's auto framing camera, SRG A40 and A12, but this time we can realize external type PD's auto framing with its AI video presenter. What is the advantage of Sony PD's auto framing function? We achieved consistent tracking by in-house developed AI algorithm using multiple recognition technologies. The basically conventional tracking are performed by facial detection or motion detection. But Sony's PD's auto framing is supported by human face recognition, detail feature matching, and face recognition, and also recognize the skeleton. Also, basically conventional camera only has upper body mode or full body mode, but our PD's auto framing provides three different framing angles: full body, waist, and close up, and also available in 10 sizes. Additionally, in each framing mode, full body, waist, close up, that we can achieve natural framing for comfortable viewing based on Sony's unique PDC mechanical control technologies. In full body mode, our camera can keep the intended subject in the center of the frame. And also, when the speaker comes closer to the camera can zoom out to keep him in the center of the frame. In waist mode, it's tough for the cameras to keep the intended subject even when crossing other people's. But our camera our PDC auto framing technology recognize that person consistently and keep that person even when passing by. And also, the close-up shot is even more difficult for human operators, but the PD's auto framing realize the really natural close-up shot. And also, the intuitive and simple web GUI setup is another advantage. We will explain later, but really simple. Only surfing several pages, just starting from selecting PD's auto framing mode and change the framing mode, decide starting position, detection setting, then start a PD's auto framing with live view. We can explain later. What are the benefits of Sony PD's auto framing function on the Edge AI video presenter? This provides the highest quality PDC auto framing in combination with BLC cameras and mechanical advantages. You may think that built-in tracking is better than external tracking. It is true. Our SRG A40 and A12 has great PDC auto framing consistency, but with the mechanical advantage of BLC X1000 and H800, we can provide even better PDC auto framing with Edge AI video presenter. Also, we newly added the camera SRG X40UH for PTZ auto framing. Okay, let me hand over to Karim for GUI explanation and demonstration.
Thanks, Ken. Well, today I'm going to be taking you through the web UI configuration of the PTZ auto framing capabilities on the Edge Analytics 5.0 firmware update. The first thing you want to do is open up a web browser user interface. Once you open up that web browser user interface, you want to go to your drop-down box. Within your drop-down box, you will be selecting PTZ auto framing. Hit setup, which is located to the right of that pull-down box. And then it brings you to a new page. On the first page of configuration, you'll see the framing setup. Under framing setup, it allows you to select three options: close-up, waist, and full body. For this particular demo, I'm going to be selecting waist. And then right up underneath that selection box, you have additional framing options. Under the adjust framing options, you have height, body size, as well as placement. The unique thing about the Edge Analytics 5.0 auto framing capabilities is the ability of selecting additional placement options. For example, you can select for far left and far right, as well as center. For this particular demo, I'll be using the centered framing option. On your second page, it allows you to select your target start position. Right here, you'll see a virtual IR remote, which allows you to pan, tilt, and zoom your camera. And last but not least, you have your detection zone settings. Under detection zone settings, if your camera have a tally lamp, you can select to utilize that tally lamp. In this particular case, I will be using my tally lamp, and to automatically target selection. Under automatic target selection, there's three additional options. You can select your wait time up to 60 seconds, your detection start time, and your tracking timeout as well. So once you set all your times for your detection zone area, you're going to hit done. You are now ready to auto frame and track your individual. So as I stand up, you'll notice that it still always keeps me within frame. I'm going to walk to my right here, and it's still keeping me within frame. Now, if you remember, during the configuration page, there was three configuration pages. On your first configuration page, it gave you framing options. It's important to understand that what really sets this application aside, it gives you three framing options: close-up, full body, and waist. For this demo, I'm using waist. There's also another option under adjusting framing. It was called placement. So, for instance, I have a display off to my left here, where the placement will really come into play if you had a display, if you had a whiteboard, if you had a projector screen. But you also want to sit there and keep the presenter within frame. You can use that placement option to set it for far left or far right. Now, a lot of people are familiar with PTZ Auto Tracking with Edge Analytics Box. With the PTZ Auto Tracking, it gives you a pan movement. However, with the PTZ Auto Framing option, it gives you pan, tilt, and zoom. So as I walk left or right, it will pan. I drop a pen on the floor, it will tilt. As I walk around with my back from the camera, it will still frame and keep me within frame. Even as I walk back to my desk and sit down, it will still keep me within frame. So now that we've taken a look at how well Edge Analytics Box auto framing capability works, I'm going to send it back to Ken for the remainder of the presentation. Thank you.
Thank you, Karim. Let me explain a little more about specification of our Edge AI video presenter. There are 5 different features and supported recommended cameras are as shown. For handwriting extraction, existing BLC camera X1000, H800, X400, and also existing SLG cameras X400, 120, XB25, XB1, and also XDCAM series, FL7, and SLG A40, A12, and X40UH. For PDC-O tracking, PDC-O framing, PDC cameras are supported. BLC X1000, H800, SLG 300H, it's already discontinued, SLG 300 SE, and BLC X400, SLG 120DH, SLG X400, X120, 360 SHE, and newly added X40UH. Please be noted that the FL7 cannot be supported by Edge AI video presenter because the FL7 has different the mechanicals, different lenses. The third one, close out by gesture. Our XDCAM series, BLC X1000, X400, SLG X400, XB25, XB1, which is 4K cameras. Also FL7, SLG A40, A12, and X40UH. For chroma key CZ overlay, almost same as close-up by gestures. XDCAM series, Alpha 7 series, BLC X1000, X400, H800, SLG X400, XB1, FL7, SLG A40, A12, and X40UH. Then lastly, focus area cropping, FS7, Z150, Z190, Z280, BLC X1000, BLC X400, SLG X400, XB25, XB1, FL7, SLG A40, A12, and SLG X40UH. This is the hardware specification. There are various connectors. Firstly, the RJ45 connector for RTSP, RTMP live streaming, and 12-volt DC power input connector. Please be noted that AC adapter is not supplied, so you need to purchase the AC adapter separately. And also mic in. And on the right top, status button LED and power button LED. And also two HDMI in and out. HDMI out 1 supports up to 4K 30p, and HDMI out 2 supports up to 1080p. This is a detailed specification. For more information, please see Proud Sony webpage for the complete specification. AI helps the lack of dedicated, skilled operators and requirements on advanced camera work to create engaging content. AI makes you free. Let me circle back to John. Thank you for listening.
Thanks, Ken. That was great. Really appreciate it. We do have a number of questions in the chat, and I continue to encourage our attendees to please submit any questions you may have. So I think we're going to start right off with the first question for. Let's send this one to Karim. So Karim, this question's from Brian, and he asks, how does the Edge device know how to frame the whiteboard in the shot? The presenter is walking in front all the time, and then all of a sudden it can frame the whiteboard. Maybe you can explain the setup process, how we identify the corners of the whiteboard and so on.
Absolutely, and that's a great question, John. So during the initial configuration phase on one of the web pages, it will allow you to identify an area on the whiteboard that you want to select. You can select a whole whiteboard or a portion of that whiteboard. Once you're done with configuring and identifying that particular area on the whiteboard, the individual or the instructor in this particular case can walk in front of the whiteboard, and then it will actually create that handwriting instruction if I want to use that application as an example. Uh, However, it does take a little bit of processing. Processing time is like a couple of milliseconds for that information to sit there and update through the processor.
Okay, thanks, Karim. We've got another question here from Katerina. This one's for you, Ken. She's asking, is the trial license still built in and available?
Yes, it's still built in. So you can try whatever functions for 60 days. Yep.
Gotcha, Ken. And I'm gonna stick with you on this next one. Richard is asking a question about one of our higher end cameras, the FR7, and he wants to know, can PTZ auto framing, auto tracking, is that available for the FR7 with the Edge REAC 1000?
The answer is no. The FR7 and BLCX 1000 are both high-end PTZ cameras, but they have different mechanicals and different lenses. Controlling FR7 is a little more difficult than controlling our existing PTZ cameras. We understand the voice of the customer to have auto tracking, auto framing function to FR7. We will keep work on it. Thank you.
Okay, great, Ken. Looking over the questions here, I've got one from Bill. Karim, why don't you take this one? So he's asking, can you use the Edge AI device to control multiple cameras?
Yes, in multiple applications. So let me give you an example here. During the on the web UI rather, you have the option of selecting two cameras. But you have to keep in mind when you're running two applications, like let's sit there and say PTZ auto tracking chroma key with CG overlay, it's not going to give you the ability of doing that. When selecting two cameras, the only two options it will give you would be handwriting extraction and PTZ auto tracking.
Okay, great. Let's see here. Karim, let's stay with you. Got another question from Jeff, and he asks, can the setting be controlled via a third-party controller, such as changing from close up to the waist up shot and so on? So I guess he's talking about auto framing, and can you control the framing via a third-party controller?
Yes, we do support third-party control systems like Extron, Crestron, where you can switch in between applications, start and stop applications as well. You should be able to also configure your control system to sit there and toggle in between the different body compositions as well.
Great. Question here from Philip. So maybe I'll send this one over to you, Ken. Philip asks, for the handwriting extraction license, do you need one per room, or one for the school to be used in many rooms?
The answer is one unit is needed for one room.
Okay. And maybe, I don't know, this one could be either for Ken or Karim, whoever wants it. The question is from Tristram, and they ask, will gestures only work, will the gesturing only work with large gestures, meaning Is it something as simple as lifting an arm with a microphone work, or does it have to be very exaggerated?
You want me to take that one, Ken, or you want to take it?
Um, uh, I'm on you.
Not a
Yeah, a
problem.
little bit.
So,
Yeah, technical.
okay. So to answer your question, currently the gesture is by standing up, and that's the only way we could sit there and lock onto the individual. As they sit back down, it'll go back out for a full frame to capture the whole audience.
Okay, so it's gesture by stand up, Karim,
Yes,
correct?
sir. Yes.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Okay. Let's see. There's a couple more here. Renee has a question. She wants to know, is there an SDI output on the Edge device?
No, no, only HDMI and IP. I mean RTSP, RTMP output from the Edge box. Yeah.
Okay. Karim, can we run handwriting extraction? This one's from Sarah. She wants
Hmm.
to know, can we run handwriting extraction and PTZ auto framing simultaneously?
Unfortunately, not. There's not enough processing power on the Edge Analytics box to run those two applications.
Okay. Okay. And Ken, Charles asked a question. Can we use other vendors' PTZ cameras with the Edge?
Actually, for handwriting extraction or close-up by gesture, if the camera has 4K imager and HDMI output, that physically we can use, but we highly recommend to use Sony cameras for this application. Thank you.
Okay, Ken, very good. Let's see here. I think this is the last question. Is from Kevin, and he asks. Oh, well, we got another question from Andy as well. Hold on. So Kevin asks, "Is this pre-recorded and presented live?" So I think he was talking about the video that was showing the demonstration that Karim was actually demonstrating auto framing. And Kevin, yes, that portion was recorded, but this right now, our presentation, our Q&A session, this is all happening live. So let's see. Andy, if you want to use handwriting extraction, auto framing, and chroma keying, can you put a second appliance in the room? And will two appliances work in tandem for all functionality requested? Karim, maybe I should repeat the question one more time.
No, I think it's a common question that's asked in the field. Quick answer to that is no. So e- the REAC 1000 really lives to island to itself. So if you have two units, you have to have those applications run individually on that particular appliance. There's no way for both boxes to communicate with each other.
Okay, we've got a follow up question from Tristram. And the question is, can both HDMI outputs be run to a video switcher?
Correct. Yep, correct.
Okay. And another follow up question from Andy. Can you use the appliance with two PTZ cameras at the same time for different views of the same person with a single appliance?
Ye- I will sit there and lean towards yes. And only reason why I say that is because if you use focus area cropping, it will give you that different viewpoint. But again, when using focus area cropping, it's going to be that 1080 cutout of 4K signal.
Okay. Isn't there another two camera scenario as well, Karim, where we've used handwriting extraction and auto tracking together, where we use one PTZ camera and a fixed camera to shoot
Yes, and
the whiteboard?
yes, in that particular case, and that's a great example, John. You could have one PTZ camera, and that could be fixed onto the whiteboard. and that will be one viewing angle. But if you was to use PTZ auto tracking, that'll be a different angle that's going to be tracking your presenter.
Okay, and actually, Andy, as I was asking that, Andy actually put the same exact question in the chat. So yes, Andy, it's possible. Um, actually, he's asking it a different way. He's asking it two appliances in a room with one camera, one for handwriting extraction and the second for PTZ framing.
Yes, that's doable. You'll
Yeah,
just need the license, that particular license on that particular unit that you're using it for.
gotcha. Okay, so it looks like there are no more questions in the chat. This was a really active Q&A session. We really appreciate everyone who joined us, everyone who contributed to the Q&A session, and of course, you can always reach out to any of us with any follow-up questions you may have. And it's good to get back into the swing of things here now. We do have we'll start up our regular cadence of Tech Tuesdays on a monthly basis. So be sure to mark your calendars for next month, February 27th, where we're gonna have a presentation entitled "Delivering Collaborative Visual Experiences Through New Projector Firmware." And what we're going to be talking about there is our 21 by 9 software upgrade for our business projectors. So, again, this is John Garmendi saying thank you for your time. Thank you for your input. And we look forward to seeing you next month on the 27th. Bye, all. Have a great day.